Hi guys.
Oh my God.
Kyle completely ruined my original intro, so we're doing another one now.
Okay.
These guys are merging.
So we have 2, maybe 3 guests. We have.
What's up, guys? I'm Conrad.
Nice to meet you.
What's up, guys? My name is James. I also go by Zerky, though, and I'm so excited to be on the podcast with some of my closest homies, and this is going to be such a great time, and I'm so hyped.
So I'm all about stats and percentages. So on a percentage scale, how excited are you?
I'd say I'm definitely an 85. Obviously I'm not gonna lie to you and say I'm 100. That'd be cap. But I'm very excited because I know that we're gonna have some really good discussion and we're gonna talk about some things that need to be talked about. And one of the things is you're a fucking PSG hater, okay? And I'm just telling you this because it's ridiculous and I'm done with it.
Okay. We will have a very nice conversation throughout the podcast. But first, we have some news to address.
I want you to go first because I don't really know what you're saying.
Okay,
It's just come out today, I think.
It's very, very brief. So you know how much we love the Balon d'Or, right, guys? So what ended up happening is they have changed the format in which they will be voting, as in what category. So they will be using instead of the calendar year, they will be using a seasoned format. So instead of saying the Balon d'Or for 2020 and 2021, they're not going to start looking at the players from the year anymore. When the year starts and the year ends, they're looking at it from a season standpoint, which I think it should be like that every single time, right? The season starts around August, ends around May. There's a World Cup or Euros or whatever. It's going to be also included in the summer. Because, I don't know about you guys. I think that should have been a change a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of gives a different feel because there's always, I don't want to bring FIFA into this, but it's there's the team of the year, then there's a team of the season. They've always felt separate, and I feel like the Balon d'Or is kind of bring those two together, the actual player that's played the best in the whatever year it is season.
When you judge a player based off of the season he's had. Right? The season just doesn't magically end in December when it's New Year's,
Yeah.
It doesn't magically end then. So, I always thought it was goofy how they did that because the season doesn't start January 1st. It starts in, August.
Yeah, you think about, especially this year with, someone like Mo Salah, who had a really good end to last season and a really good start to this season, and he was in, Ballon d'Or contention. But if you look at the, last season, it wasn't his best year, but he had a good end. Then a good start this year, so people are oh, let's put Mo Salah in.
It just mixes it up for no reason. So I think this is a change that should have happened a long time ago, and I'm kind of happy that they did after all the outrage this year and the past couple of years of robberies.
Can I ask something?
Yes.
So what was the point of doing it not in the season format? Why were people doing it the year?
I don't know. The French like to do their own thing always.
I think it's
who does the Balon d'Or?
French football.
French football.
But
so
it's journalists from around the world that end up voting.
Okay, why are journalists voting?
That's
James, you have brought a brilliant question that I brought up in previous podcasts.
You have, yeah.
Because I don't know why journalists are voting.
That's wow.
Because I remember there was an example of I think it was some small country. I might have been Sri Lanka. I think they put Trent Alexander-Arnold as the 3rd best player in the world.
Brazil had KDB as the second top.
So it's just it's so random.
So they pool journalists
Yeah.
across the world.
Yes,
that some of them have never touched a soccer ball.
It was funny.
They've been, I don't know. They've just
acquitted,
been writing their whole life.
Acquitted
yeah,
journalists.
you vote on the athlete. Yeah.
It
No,
was
but
funny.
they're watching sport.
Oh,
Right,
so they're smart.
sports journalists,
No,
right?
it's not,
But the funny thing was this
I'm
year,
not saying they're smart.
there was this random guy that DM'd one of I don't know, it was a Croatian journalist, and he's why did you have Van Dijk as your top guy this year? He's because he has good pace in FIFA, and we were oh my god.
I don't know why.
No, it was they showed it. It was proof. Yeah, it happened this year.
See, it's just I don't know. People get so hung up on the Balon d'Or, and I really don't think it's that deep. It's kind of a popularity contest.
I mean, yeah, you see a lot of people
are you
even Johan Cruyff. He's I don't count this award. I don't give this award any weight because it's just journalists voting for their friends.
It
And
really
it's-
is.
and
It
it's
really
like-
is. Like,
Like
are you
less-
gonna, you're
every
gonna take
year-
a World Cup or are you gonna take a Ballon d'Or? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
every year less and less respect.
In the end, it's a team sport, and it's like really hard to
exactly.
judge.
That's what they all.
Yeah.
all
Because it's like you look at it and it's always attackers getting the award, and sometimes it shouldn't be the attacker, but rather should be the midfielder or defender,
Yeah,
or even goalie.
Van Dijk won it a while
No,
ago.
he didn't.
he almost got it.
Oh, he did it.
He got robbed by Messi.
Oh,
again.
Messi.
By Messi.
I got a Messi.
Hey,
That's not-
Ronaldo. I don't know much about soccer, guys. All right.
true.
So what's the next thing that you got on there?
Is it
Rach?
anything else about the Ballon d'Or?
Not really. I mean, you want to say anything?
I mean, didn't they change it to where it's only like the top 100 countries on the FIFA rankings now?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Wow.
I think that's what it said. So instead
I'm
of
okay
being
with
a
that.
country, it's going to be the representatives of the first 100 countries in the FIFA rankings for the men's
Put the
award,
mic closer.
and the first 50 for the women's.
Okay.
And those are the only people that are qualified to vote now.
Interesting.
I'm okay with that.
And then they're also changing it to where players' previous performances in previous years won't count towards.
That's good.
Why did it ever?
That is true.
It's
That is pretty stupid.
That's
but-
really dumb.
like it doesn't. It's just one season based off their award. Like it's just I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
cool how they changed it now.
Yeah.
I mean, at least maybe
Ballon
maybe
d'Or
this
L.
means at least maybe it means they were kind of listening to the criticism, which is kind of a good thing.
Yeah,
That's true.
Finally, after
Yeah.
Right,
years of
I mean-
criticism.
It just had to take.
They had
Levy
kids.
getting
At least
robbed.
Exactly.
they did it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, at a Polish man's expense.
Yeah.
Yeah, just yeah.
Yeah, it had to be like I'm not even surprised.
They
It,
could-
it would work out that way.
They had to create the Mickey Mouse Award for him, the best striker.
Dude, that was borderline disrespectful. We went over that.
No, but
That
didn't
was-
he get
Best
the
striker.
best player award?
No, it was the best striker.
He legit got he got the best feet. No, that was.
No. It was like besides the striker award, he got like a best player award.
I
don't
think it was
know.
like Globe something.
It was like a different. It wasn't the Ballon d'Or Association. It was something
No,
different.
but he called it like better than the Balon d'Or himself.
I think so. But he was definitely salty. But it is what it is. I
I
would be
mean-
salty. Okay, so I guess the next thing I'll have to talk about because James brought up. Shut up.
Like close, like this.
James brought up the PSG game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
PSG
I think
Madrid.
that's kind of like the only thing we could talk about, like based
Yeah.
off of the games. I guess that happened. I mean, Bayern slaughtering, Salzburg is what it is.
Yeah.
The game was over in 20 minutes. So, 3-2 on aggregate, 3-1 at the Bernabeu. Okay. You accuse me of being a PSG hater.
You are. Yeah, 'cause you
and
are.
I would like to state that I'm a PSG realist. So can you please get your argument out?
My argument.
Let's hear it.
So explain
Okay.
explain to me and the audience why I'm a PSG hater and why PSG should not be.
Because PSG is a team that is grassroots, okay? France just it's a team. Can I finish? So, okay, here.
Let him speak. Let him speak.
France has always struggled in sport, okay? Historically, just has struggled in sport. And people are against the French. For example, 2006 World Cup final, Zidane gets verbally assaulted by the Italian player.
Bro,
let me finish. I'm talking now. Verbally assaulted. And he's like, I mean, you matter, in Italian, okay? And Zidane is like, what did you say to me? That's probably really offensive. I'm sorry. But Zidane is like, what'd you say? Okay, like, so the guy says, dude, your mom, lol. And then Zidane's like, what'd you say about my mom? Boom, headbutts him. That's like a serious thing. Like talking about somebody's mother, especially in Europe. Like, you guys are European, you understand. I mean, wait, are you European?
25%.
So yeah, you get it like 1/4 of the way. So what I'm trying to say is like France has always been at a disadvantage. Like really when you think about it, like they've always kind of just been in this like they've been victims of a lot of things. Okay.
I'm gonna
So
interrupt you
anyways,
right there.
so no, you're not gonna interrupt me. So
I will interrupt you.
so
I will-
the one thing that right now, obviously, like they won, like France won World Cup. Ooh, okay. Who cares? Yeah, it was a fraud. Like, come on, like let's be honest. Okay, like sure, and it was awesome, to see like Pogba do really well, and Pogba's a pretty good player in my opinion. He gets a lot of hate too, which I think you're a Pogba hater as well, but that's another thing. So for me, it's the fact that they are like all of France, and all like is rooting behind PSG to be this team, to be this like
They are.
flagship
You're 100%
brand, right?
It's because it represents French football.
It represents and class. That's another thing, class. PSG is a classy team, okay? Like Neymar. Neymar is a classy player. Why are you laughing?
What are you talking about?
Dude, okay. So all I have to say is just like everyone holds PSG to this standard, and they're like they're trying, like they're obviously like failing right now and not doing a good job. But like they got Messi, that was a step in the right direction. I don't really know if that's gonna do much, but it's like they had David Beckham at one point. That was kind of cool. 17 games. 17 games. But I think that I think that. Like, I just think you're a hater. Like, I honestly just think that you're.
So,
yeah, go ahead.
Can I plead my case now?
Yeah, go ahead. That's Kevin.
I really don't think I'm hating on the French for that reason. I'm hating on their failure because of what should have happened. So, let's go back. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 years ago, PSG made the statement signing of Neymar Jr. For 200 million, yes?
Neymar
Let me repeat that.
Silva.
200 million, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they got a good
most
deal,
expensive,
I would say. Good deal.
most expensive player. So,
Yeah.
so before we even go on to PSG, we have to take a look at why did he leave Barca?
He left Barca because he wasn't the star. He wasn't the main guy. He was under Messi's shadow, yeah.
And I would even argue he was under Suarez's shadow.
Yeah, when Suarez was biting people, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So Adam,
Yeah, face. Yeah.
So he definitely so that's what we've got down so far. Yes.
Yeah, it's
He
like common
went
knowledge.
to PSG to be the best player in the world, and to prove that PSG can win the Champions League. Yes.
I don't know about win the Champions League. It was more get success. See, you're already putting like these like they need to win the Champions League. It's like no. They want to build a good team that can contend.
Their owner straight up said that the goal is to win the Champions League.
Owner schmoner. I mean,
Okay.
how many times has Arsenal's owner said that they're going to rebuild this team and make it better? And what happens? I mean, what happens? Or Tottenham's owner. Oh yeah, we're gonna be a contending team.
PSG
No.
So this isn't only PSG's failure. This is also Neymar's failure. And here's why. If you look season by season,
Yeah.
from Neymar's performances from Barca to PSG, it has been at a decline further and further, and he has been in his prime at PSG.
How old was he when he came to PSG?
He's currently 30. I think he was like 25, 26.
25. So he's like okay.
He's going into his prime.
Kinda.
So,
yeah.
I'll quickly go through the stats. I won't ramble on him too much because I have a lot. But
Yeah.
Starting the last 3 years at Barca, so 14, 15, 16, he had 51, 49, 45 games, okay? All over 40 games, and he had 39, 31, 20 goals a season.
Right. Surrounded
20
by
and
a prime Messi and Suarez, mind you.
Okay.
Prime Barcelona, best Barcelona team ever,
But Neymar
mind
left.
you.
But Neymar left to be the best player in the world because people and him believe that he is. 26, 25, 10 assists. Those are extremely good stats for 45 games. Moves to PSG. Does not have a singular season over 31 games.
Yeah.
Showing injury. Okay.
Different league though.
Showing injury.
Okay.
If he's the best player in the world, the league doesn't matter. 31, 27, 28, 30 games. Those are the stat lines. Okay.
Okay.
I'll give him first season at PSG, 30 games, 28 goals, 16 assists. Very good season. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
From that point on, complete decline. 2021, complete decline in form.
Okay. 20. Go. Keep going.
In 2020 and 21, he had 31 games, 17 goals, 9 assists. This season, 19 games, 4 goals, 5 assists.
Yeah,
So what's so funny? Are these the stats of a best player in the world?
I mean, listen, best players.
Is he successful at PSG?
what makes a best player in the world, Mister
Best player?
World footballer here?
Winning titles for your team,
Right.
being having considerable. So if you're an attacking player, I'm not just saying numbers, right?
Right.
Because I'm not expecting my center midfielder to have 20 goals a season, but I'm expecting him to be a critical part of my team to help us succeed. So,
Right.
A 200 million worth player that we bought to win the Champions League,
Yeah.
to prove to Europe that French football isn't a joke, to prove to Europe that they can do it.
Right.
This season throughout 19 games has 4 goals, 5 assists.
Okay.
Do you think that's acceptable?
No, but I think that you're mixing your own argument. Okay.
How so?
I'll explain. Neymar went to PSG because he wanted to be a star. Okay? He wanted to be a star. Not in my opinion as like a big PSG fan. Not because he wanted to be the best player, Patrick. Because of things like the Balon d'Or. He'll never be the best player. Why? Because Ronaldo. Because Messi. That's why. Okay? Now, he is a star. He is a star at PSG because he's the center. He was, at least for a little bit, the center of attention, like up until Mbappe was spawned and just like is dominating. He's a phenomenal player, by the way, which I think he will stay. He will stay at PSG because he fits PSG pretty well, and I think he's happy with what he's getting.
I think Mbappe is going to Real Madrid.
Why? Why would he want to go to Real Madrid? Old team, declining team. Okay, like yeah, obviously like
Declining team?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
They just won.
they won, but like
Why?
they came back. It was,
Why?
But okay, you're looking at this game, and this game was
No, because PSG are a bunch of frauds. They can't
No, they're
do
not.
It.
See, you
They have
hater.
no winner mentality. Dude, the past 5 seasons, where have they been?
playing. They're winning the league.
Winning the league.
Yeah.
Winning
Okay.
the
Yeah, that was 1 year. Yeah. Whatever.
Okay. This season, PSG have not won any away games with the top 6 teams in France
Yeah.
or in the Champions League.
Because of the away goal rule, I think.
They're not. There's no away goal. They couldn't beat Club Brugge in Europe away.
Yeah.
Club Brugge.
But have you played Club Brugge? Is like a good team though, like decent.
So
City beat him 5-0.
I think Ligue 1. Yeah.
So
I'm a fan.
Here's your issue.
What's my issue?
You're saying you're making an excuse that Club Brugge is a good team, and we're talking about PSG, who just spent 5 years ago spent 200 million on Neymar to be the best player.
Also 200 million on Mbappe.
And Mbappe too, and they brought Messi in on a ginormous contract. They're offering new contracts to these guys. So what are we doing here? Okay, that's the question we should be asking.
We're rebuilding.
Really, they're rebuilding.
Yeah, I mean,
Rebuild.
yeah.
Rebuilding for another failure. That's what I'll say.
I mean, listen.
Joke club.
I think that, obviously I'm kind of like, if nobody can understand, I'm kind of trolling and pretending to be like the average PSG fan that like is like, ooh, but they look cool. It's like, because they do. I mean, like
the Jordan sponsorship. Jordan.
Yeah, it's like but yeah, I agree with you 100%, Patrick. I agree. Like I'm kind of being like this like troll
no, I
face,
completely
but
understand. It's
but
a
no,
good argument
it's
to have.
what is going on in Paris is like, it's like bruh. Like on paper, you should be sweeping Real,
Well,
and you
they're not
are making a mistake like Donnarumma makes. Like, come on, dude. Like, I agree. It's like you're putting together. It's kind of honestly similar to what happened with Barca in a way. When Barca started to buy a lot of like just talent
I
in
agree.
order to be like,
they went on the
well,
council.
we're just gonna buy a couple stars and then they're just gonna want to play because they're good. And it's like the reason Barcelona worked in the past was because they had a lot of homegrown players that were really
You
really
always need your
dope.
academy players.
Exactly, and then they would buy a Ronaldinho that would go and like do his little thing, and it was brilliant because like you had that base, they dish it out to Ronaldinho, he does his little thing, and he meshed good with the team. But this is literally like it's. Dude, I don't know what it's like trying to build like the Burj Khalifa, okay, but like not laying any foundation, like just putting
course.
like stuff and being like, oh, I hope it stands.
So,
it's really expensive. I hope it stands.
Exactly like you're saying. I think you mentioned it perfectly. Team.
Yeah.
They're not a team. It's a team. It's a bunch of individuals playing for themselves. So, I
Facts.
mean, if whoever watched the game, Neymar walking, Messi walking,
Yeah.
Mbappe was working hard.
Yeah,
I
Mbappe's a
don't know if
workhorse.
defensively, but offensively he was working his ass off. But like the perfect example to say, because the PSG failure, which I think is the reason I brought up Neymar, is because I think it's highlighted by Neymar. It's like they go 1-1 together.
Yeah.
Like what their plan was and how they both declined. It's been a failure.
In
If
a
you look
way,
at the second goal, Neymar gives the pass away,
yeah.
and Luka Modric runs past the whole PSG midfield, and instead of Neymar tracking back, and working hard to sprint to get the ball back, he does like a complimentary jog behind Luka Modric. Keep in mind who's dribbling, so we all know
Yeah.
you're slower when you dribble.
Right.
Neymar's 30. Luka Modric is a 36-year-old man who's beating,
Yeah, but he's a
beating
beast.
beating him on pace on the ball.
Yeah.
Like that shouldn't be happening. Neymar's not slow.
So,
that-
okay,
it's like I think it's a mental issue partially. It's just like if you truly cared, surely you would make your best attempt to get back. He did like when you would like jog back and like make it look like you're trying so people aren't upset with you. It looked like that.
So, what do you think? And this is for everybody. What's the difference? How do you build like the mentality that like Real have? Like Real Madrid plays so consistently. Like if you look at like past seasons and what have you, like same thing with like Man City. Like how do you build that kind? Because okay, obviously they don't know what the fuck they're doing in Paris. Like they have no. It's like a country club. Like sure, yeah, 200 million, yeah, come on. It's like how do you build that?
The thing with successful teams is look at the past, even just like any like successful champion team, like even in any sport. When has it ever worked of bringing in a bunch of big names? When has it ever?
Buccaneers.
I guess, but they like two big names. The rest of them were not big names. Gronk and Brady, yeah, they got two like kingpins that were like the central.
That's bringing in big names. If you're talking about,
I'm saying an entire like
team together.
yes,
Like a perfect
like the
example,
Brooklyn
the
Nets in
Brooklyn Nets,
basketball.
yeah.
Yeah.
They bring in KD, Kyrie, James Harden. Never worked out. Get knocked out by I don't even know who. The Bucks, Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Like
With the Bucks boy,
let me be Giannis.
Yeah.
Like they have they have one guy who's a superstar, Giannis, and they have a bunch of contributing guys that know their role.
Yeah.
And I mean,
They want to play for each
they
other.
want,
Yeah.
and that's what I was just about to bring up. You look at Manchester City. You have a guy like Pep Guardiola who not only demands respect from everyone, and not even just like I demand respect from you. It's just implied. When you can garner the respect, and when you can just walk into a room and your players almost like fear, like almost but like a respectful fear.
They just
Like,
know their place.
like-
have you seen that video of Pep when he's really mad and he's like, "Sit down, no talking. Sit down, no talking."
yeah, it was in the that was in the
In the
documentary.
That's
Like,
like Sigma grind stuff. Like just like freaking like as a coach.
No, but just like
dope.
the players
I love that.
want to play for each other. They want to play so they can collectively be successful as a club. They don't want to be the Balon d'Or winner. Nobody on Manchester City wants to win the Balon d'Or.
I mean,
I would say that for a fact. I could say that, not being a City fan biased, but like everyone can agree, like they don't care about their individual stats, or like nobody in City, like ever since like Aguero has been the top scorer in the league because we have so many guys that contribute and score.
It's the same thing with Liverpool too. Yeah, I guess when you look at any
Liverpool
one of
and Man City are the two best examples of it. It's more of a team than an actual.
But it's like even Real Madrid, which like historically was the team that always brought like expensive players and bought expensive players. Like there's just some kind of rooted system of like you come here and you shut up and play.
Okay.
Like you don't like. There's never been. I can't think. I mean, even like Ronaldo. Like sure he was. He has ego or whatever, but it's like when he played on that Real side, it wasn't like I'm so much better than all my teammates. Like it was collectively like team vibes,
So that's exactly what I was gonna bring up with PSG. Is a lot of reporters are saying this is that compared to Real Madrid. After the Real Madrid PSG game, a lot of the Real Madrid players and reporters and fans were saying it's in our DNA, which you can see is a lasting effect on teams like Man City and PSG because of that. Real Madrid have an amazing history in the Champions League.
Yeah.
And it's in like their DNA when you play for them, right?
Right.
And PSG have like a history of choking, and that's in the back of their head.
I mean, so does Barca as well.
And
yeah.
Like what happened a couple years ago with PSG and Barca, 6-1, La Remontada or whatever. I don't know the exact name, but it was the exact same situation. Like, you're telling me those players aren't thinking about that? They know about that. Some of those players were there.
Right.
So it's not in their DNA to be like clear-cut winners. So that's also like an example of why like a team like PSG and also Man City, who haven't had, say, success in the Champions League, are maybe having that trouble. It's because that extra pressure of we haven't won it yet and we need to. It's not like built into it like a Real Madrid who have the
I think it's also, Patrick,
know.
it's like they want short-term like gratification
Yes.
instead of like, okay, like, yeah, we're not very good right now. That's okay. But like let's invest 10 years down the line. Like, sure, PSG, I mean, it never works out where you're like, oh yeah, if we invest in this player, like, we're going to get a return like right away. It's like always just bit by bit you built it. I mean, Klopp, for example, dude. I mean, he's done magic. Watching that Liverpool side when they were like on top of the world was like, the way they played was just crazy.
I mean,
and it's like everyone's like, how'd they get so good? And it was like years of him just like trying to figure stuff out, trying to shovel like a team together, buying players that worked out, that didn't work out, loaning people out, having them come back. Like, that whole idea of like, okay, it's going to suck right now. We're not going to be good. We're not going to be contenders. But he like restored Liverpool's I mean, Liverpool is literally what Man United is now. They were a joke.
Yeah.
For a while, it was like, oh, like Liverpool, like, you know. And now it's like, oh, damn it, we play Liverpool.
Like you said, it's that looking for that instant success instead of building from the ground up
Yeah.
and having a really good foundation with a good manager, a good core of players and stuff like that. One thing I wanted to bring up quickly before we move on about the PSG issue is that when Kyle brought it up, how many contributors and the players don't look at their individual status but more of the team status.
Right.
The issue with PSG is that some of the players are bigger than the club.
Right.
And they think they are, and you could even be said that they are. Because if you ask like a random person who knows nothing about soccer, if they know Messi or if they know who PSG is, they're gonna I would be willing to say that Messi's going to be more popular than PSG based off of just his name. So,
yeah, but they had the PSG Jordans, and those were cool, Patrick.
but
Dude, those PSG Jordans, though, they got good resale as well, bro.
They're crazy, man. But like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
that's the thing. It's like once I saw that
player-
PSG collaborated with Bape. Instead of building like a good academy, that's where they're at. They're like, yeah, let's make this Bape Shark hoodie with the PSG logo on it, and that's gonna fix the problem of us being not good.
Yeah, I mean,
Jeez,
it's just
man.
like you
It's the brand. Like they want
branding completely.
Paris to be the brand and not like, oh, like it's serious, like they're cool. It's like, no, it's like PSG, you know. But I'm still gonna be a fan forever because listen, man, like Messi.
Like what I'm trying to say, if you're trying to be a successful team, no player can ever be bigger than the club, than the organization, and that's just the way it is.